So let's get started. So come to a comfortable seated position, and right from the beginning, because this is a restorative class, I want you to sit up on something. So again, you can take a blanket, fold it nice and neatly. You know, you can be super detailed about that. A pillow, something like that. And you're just going to put those right underneath your sit bones and relax your legs down. Again, comfortable seated pose, whatever that seems like to you. And the goal of this, as you're starting to just, get adjusted, settle in. I love seeing everybody getting their blankets and folding them. This is what this part of the class is like right now. So just, as you're here, you're on my Facebook page or maybe even Instagram. I made this little quote the other day, just, whatever came to me. Make compassion your first reaction. I've just been thinking about that idea of, when we react to something that somebody said, or, just a reaction that we have to something, to ourselves, right? A pose that we're doing, we want to do it better or whatever. Like, my goal is for you all to just have your first reaction be compassion. And I think of that as a big point of restorative poses or restorative classes. It's just being compassionate to yourself. And that's what we get to do right now, right? It's super chill, super gentle, and here we are in this place. So again, lift it up, finding compassion, release your hips down. Go ahead and close your eyes if that feels comfortable to you. I'm hoping that most of the poses I'll be telling you, you might just have to look at the camera for a moment, but then you can look away. I don't want you to be staring at a screen for this hour. So look down, close your eyes, look in, moving away from wherever you were earlier, just coming to this place right here. Don't move, but just take a moment to notice without judgment your posture. Just notice. Take a moment to scan. Are there places calling out to you that are feeling tight, that you're crunching over? Is, is there a place that you need to adjust a little bit? Just coming to this place and taking a couple breaths right here. Sorry, I had a little break there. My daughter needed to go outside. All right. So while you're here, again, no judgment. You're just in this place right now. Start to relax your hips a little bit, your knees down, pulling your belly towards your spine and your spine to your belly. Pulling the bottoms of your ribs up off your hips. Here we're just growing, getting length, one vertebrae after the other, stacking on the one below it. And as you lengthen up through the neck, imagine that there's a string in the center of the crown of your head pulling you up, and then release your shoulders as far as you can away from your ears. Release any tension in your jaw. You can make the back of your tongue wide. That sometimes releases your jaw. Relax around your eyes. Find your breath. Notice it as it moves in through your nose and opening up through your lungs, through your belly. With every inhale, just take this moment to slow down. Slow the mind, coming to this place right here. With Every inhale, you're gaining new energy, newness, life. And then with each exhale, you get to let it all go. On an inhale, bring your arms out in front of you and inhale them up to the sky, stretching long, each side getting longer and longer from the tops of the ribs up to the fingertips. And then exhale the hands together, bringing them down to heart center. Still, as you bow to yourself, take this moment to honor every part of this practice, wherever you go throughout this practice, remembering that your first reaction should be compassion to yourself. Every pose should eventually feel comfortable. It's all about finding that place to get comfortable and set any intention that you have for this class, for the rest of the day, whatever comes up. And releasing your hands to your knees. Just starting to do little circles here. And I'm going to go super slowly. Again, this is restorative. So we're just relaxing here. Typically, it's about following the breath, right? So I inhale as I come forward, exhale as I go back. You can choose whatever rhythm you wish, but I just hope that it is intentional and slow, comforting. There's a moment you need to sink into a place, stretch it out there, that's okay. The next time you come forward, just allow yourself to swoosh around gently, gracefully to the other side. The beauty of restorative class is that you get to take the time to really deepen in and pay attention and acknowledge how you're feeling. There's stuck places, what you need to bring breath to. And just a couple more rounds. Rolling gently back up to center, closing your eyes and just allowing yourself to feel that movement coming to stillness. All right, we're gonna move out. So I'm gonna move my bolster block or whatever from underneath me. We're gonna move into supported Janu Sirsasana. So what is that? So moving into straight legs here for a moment, moving them around, being gentle. And then the bottom of my right foot is going to come in towards my inner thigh. And here is a couple moments where you can, again, we're using pillows, blocks, whatever that looks like for you. So if I want your right leg that's out to the side to be really comfortable. So this is where you can take a little pillow, again, a yoga block or something, blankets, whatever. We're going to lean down over this left leg. So I'm going to show you kind of what that looks like. The full pose is going to be leaning down over this left leg. So I have a blanket, or maybe I'm not feeling super flexible today, or I just want to be really gentle and comfortable. And I'm going to lay pillows, blankets, whatever on my left leg as I lean down over that leg. One option is you can be on, one side of your cheek. If that feels comfortable, you can stack your hands onto your head. And if you want to go lower, if you're feeling extra flexible, whatever, you can, release lower. For me, it's comfortable for me to bring my nose to my knees. So I'll probably just lay in that. But it's finding a way that you're not working, right? Because my goal is I want you all to be like, that was so unstressful. Okay. No work, whatever. So you're going to glide into this pose, finding your breath there, right? So there's kind of an inhale that elongates you, pressing that left foot away, like you're standing on the wall across from you. You're engaging the thigh to open up the hamstring behind you. And with that extra length, through the crown of the head and the back of the neck, the exhale is going to bring the belly down first. So this is keeping your extension, then the chest down, and then the chin. and finding a place that feels comfortable to release down over your leg. Okay, so you go for that. You're not gonna, do what I'm doing because we're all gonna look a little bit different here. And if you're just kind of sitting straight up because that's where you're at today, awesome. But for me, I'm gonna, rest down over this leg and taking my time to just feel into this, right? And you can keep that left leg engaged. That's really going to open up the hamstring. If it starts to flop down and get wonky, that's okay. In restorative, it's okay. But to really open up the hamstring, you're going to keep the left foot engaged, engage the thigh, open up, releasing down. If it feels sensitive under your knee, you can also kind of roll like a little towel under your knee. So there's a little bend in it. That's just another option for you. And as you stay in this pose, again, don't follow me. I'm sitting up to talk to you. But as you stay in this pose, it's about compassion, right? So compassion to your thoughts. If your thoughts start coming up and going around and thinking about things, let them go. This is just a time I am giving you full permission. It is your job right now to let those thoughts go. Just follow the breath. Follow the breath. Allow it to scan the body, find extension, find relaxation, just letting go. Take another breath here. Deep inhale, filling yourself with new prana. And the exhale, just really let go, release into it. And one way to move out is bringing the left hand to the outside of your left leg, gently, with grace. Slowly inhale the right arm up. So there's a little opening here. Looking up to the sky. Imagine just for a moment, you can see the whole way up to the clouds. Just feeling that extension. Your heart is going the whole way up there. And then coming right back. Once you come here, just straighten the legs out. Hang out for a moment here. Feel each side. One might feel more stretched out from the other. And we're just going to do it on the other side. That's a little taste of this, right? Where we're just hanging out in a pose for a couple minutes. So this time it's my left knee, my left foot coming into my right thigh, and check in, right? Maybe one side is different than the other. For me, I'm always holding my kid on one side of my hip, right? So one side's always tighter than the other, sleeping in a weird way, right? So maybe this side I need a little extra support under my knee. You can have support under your knee. The right foot is pressing away, engaging the thigh. That opens up the hamstring. And once again, whatever supports you feel like you need on top of your right leg, right? Once you're ready, you can just kind of fold into it. But instead of flopping down, right, we're elongating the belly, the chest, the chin, the crown of the head comes up, and then exhaling long, long, long. So you keep as much extension as you can down over the leg. Have your head resting on something if your head can come down. If you're, a little bit more upright, check in with your shoulders that you're not using your hands to hold you there. The shoulders can release down away from the ears. Just kind of find what feels good, right? You can even rest your head. Like typical pose is you're pressing the foot away, elongating the neck, the back of the neck. But this one, if you just kind of let the chin drop down, that's comfortable, that's fine. So getting into that place that feels comfortable to you. One of my favorite things about these classes, sort of classes, is really allowing, there's deep tension can be released. That fascia layer on top of muscles, right? And the muscles might be tight, and the layer on top of them is so tight. And the more we just get to release into a pose when we're comfortable, right? The more that we can become like that fascia layer moves and opens up. When that happens, then more energy flows through the body, right? But if we're like holding tension and our shoulders are around our neck, and we're like, oh, working the pose, then that's, the blood flow is going to stop and everything's going to get tight. So it's about finding that place really comfortable, taking another minute to just breathe in and out in that place and adjust if you need to. Finding yourself in this pose, fully letting go. One more inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, if you can, if you wish, the right hand can go to the right side of the leg. My left arm's going to swoop up a little bit here. Once again, from the heart center, imagine that you have little, like, I don't know, magic fingers that extend up to the clouds or the sky, beyond the sky to the stars. Breathing into that extension, feeling that openness, freedom, and returning back to center. Finding a balance for a moment here. Awesome. Let's do a little Baddha Konasana. So that is the bottoms of the feet together and the knees out to the side. So how do you do this to make it comfortable? One option is you can sit up on something, right? So once again, elevating your hips. And as you relax the knees down, you can take blocks on either side of your knees or pillows or something if you feel like you need to have that. If it feels comfortable to be on the ground and letting the knees go, sweet. But oftentimes this one can be tight in the inner thighs, right? So there can be that pinching happening. So just letting that go, hanging out here for a moment. Sweet. Working on a little twist here. So I'm going to take my right hand to the outside of my left foot. If that feels comfortable to you, we're going to take the left hand back behind us, just twirling open here a little bit. Releasing the shoulders away from the ears. It's just going to be a couple breaths, kind of a transition moment. We're not holding this one too long, but just getting a little twist here. Breathe into the back of the left ribs as they wrap around the back. Breathe into the front of the right rib and imagine that they wrap around the front. Your chin is parallel to the ground. Back of the neck is long. Just take the next 3 really deep inhales and exhales the whole way down into the belly. Nice and slow, languid, long, taking your time. After that third inhale, the next exhale is just going to come back to center. Check in. Are you clenching your jaw? Make sure you let go of that. And then the left hand is going to come to the the outside of the right foot. And did I say that? The left hand, yeah, right foot, and then the right hand back behind you. Um, another way to do that is if you get a block or something for the hand behind you to support your spine. Just getting a twist here on the other side. So checking in the shoulders move away from the ears. The crown of the head lengthens up. Breathing deep into the belly. 3 long inhales, exhales, twisting out stress or tension or not naming it, not thinking about it, but just letting go of the things that don't serve you. And releasing back to center. Once you come to center, go ahead and hug yourself. One arm on top of the other. And honestly, just take this moment to hug yourself, love yourself. Knowing that who you are, just who you are and your story and your uniqueness, that is your superpower. So just hug yourself for all your superpowers. And we'll release the arms with eagle wings. So release them, swoop up. And on our exhale, we're going to do the opposite arm on top. And you get another moment to hug yourself. And nobody is watching, nobody cares. So just tell yourself how much you love yourself. Even if there's moments that you don't, that's okay. Tell yourself you do. Just for now. And hope that that lingers through the day, through the night, and every day thereafter. And release. Swoop up. Eagle wings releasing right back down. Interlace the fingers back behind you. Open up the heart center so you can take them however it feels comfortable for you. You can just kind of press them down to the ground. If you want to, bring them back up. Just a couple, just a couple breaths here. Opening up heart center, squeezing the shoulder blades together and down the back. Release the jaw. Taking this moment, just gave yourself so much love. Now we're sending it out. Somebody else didn't sit. Maybe somebody on the screen, maybe somebody in your life, maybe somebody you don't even know. Inhale, inhale, and let it go. Into supported child's pose. Woohoo! All right, so what is supported child's pose? You can go right into child's pose if you wish, but if you want it to be a little more comfortable, take your time, right? It's not about like, oh, I got to get in there really fast, right? So I'm hoping that I'm modeling that you're taking your time. A little bit wider leg stance could be an option. And just, pillow, blanket, whatever that feels like. And same thing, you're just going to drop down. Making sure that your head is stacked on, or your head is resting on something. If it's on a pillow, you could just kind of smush your head into the pillow. You could turn it on one cheek or the other. Check in with what that feels like, right? You might have an extra pillow kind of underneath the belly, so your head can even drop down a little bit more. Play with it. Take another moment or two. Feel like everyone's in it already. Sweet. You're in it. You're in it. Stay there. And again, we'll hang out here for a handful of breaths. I lied. A handful of minutes. We're going to do a good minute, maybe two. Just letting go into supported child. And if your mind starts wandering, just pretending like nobody's mind is wandering. So I almost don't even need to say this. But if it does, you could even just use a really simple mantra like gentleness. Just thinking gentleness, gentleness, gentleness. Something that comes up that just being gentle with yourself. Again, compassionate, Really just allowing yourself to feel held by the earth underneath you, feeling heavy and just letting your weight go to the pillow or the blanket and the earth underneath it. Even imagining hands on your lower back kind of pressing you down and giving you extension in the back and letting you go. Staying where you are. Don't let my voice move you. But if you are head straight down, awesome. But if you have decided to be on one cheek, go ahead and move to the other cheek. And if your head is straight down, just stay there. Keep feeling your breath. Letting go. Once again, fully giving yourself to the earth. You'll stay here. One more super long inhale, one full exhale. And then your next inhale, just slowly come right back up. I also like to see you on camera because I take cues from you guys too. So if like people are like, I'm chilling in child's pose a little bit longer, then I know I'll just go ahead and stay in it, right? So go with what you're feeling too, so I can see. So we're gonna do a little twist, like a belly down twist. So I'll show you first, so you kind of have an idea, and then I'll get you into it again. So I'm gonna go into like hero pose or virasana just because it makes it a little easier. That's on my shins. Maybe you'll have to do it like sideways on your mat, and then my blankets, pillows, whatever are gonna be next to me, and I'm gonna then I'm gonna kind of drop down onto my hip, right? So I was kind of up on my shins, and I dropped down onto my left hip. My left hip is right up alongside my blanket, and I'm gonna try to get my belly down onto the blanket. So there's that little twist that's happening already there. And yeah, can you see me? Um, and then my head rests down, my arms are at the sides, and my knees are kind of just like my left knee is right up alongside the blanket, and the right knee goes down. But you can choose, whenever you I have a tight little space here. But if you like straighten out the right leg, that's an option. You can bring it up or just kind of touch the right knee to the left foot. I'm going to lay on my left cheek too. So find what feels comfortable to you, but it's really like yummy twist. So I'll show you once again if you haven't gotten into it. So I'm, just I feel like this is kind of an easy way to get into it. If you're in it, stay in it. I'm on my shins. I drop down onto my left hip. Right up against my left hip are my pillows, blankets, whatever feels comfortable to me, making sure that it's going to take my whole body. I'm going to twist, and my belly and head are going to go to my pillow, lay on my left cheek, my arms just at the sides, and just kind of playing around with the feet. Maybe my right knee is on top of my left foot. That feels comfortable to me, but whatever works for your legs. Shoulders should be relaxed. And I think you're all in there. Awesome. Enjoy. Let go. Just staying in this pose a little bit longer. And I just want you to know that this is so worth it. I'm so glad that you chose to do this for yourself today. You get so busy and there's so much going on. We have so much happening in our lives. You really owe this time, this downtime to yourself. We get to focus on our own healing. Then we get to heal the world, but we have to heal ourselves first. So take that in, that self healing with your next deep inhale. And with your exhale, let it go. And as gracefully as you can, we're going to come back up to a seated position. We're going to do it on the other side. Take your time. This is like the anti race. Does that make sense? I don't know if that was a good way to say it, but this is not a race. Whoa, just saw a really weird bug. All right. And it's cruising. So that bug is racing, but we are not. Okay, so now we're maybe going back into Virasana, so back on our shins and bringing our blankets, bolsters, whatever, to the other side. However you want to do that. You can move your body, you can move your blankets, right? What's comfortable to you. And then again, for me, I'm just going to drop down onto the right side, and we're going to rock and roll into this one. So I'm turning my belly again. You should be able to maybe keep the blankets and everything the same way. If you need to adjust, awesome. Once again, just rolling down onto the blanket, adjusting your legs however is comfortable. And again, one side might be more flexible than the other. One side, depending on how you stand, how you sleep, if you drive a lot, your hips are going to feel differently. If you had some injury, whatever. So, for me, this side feels a little different. So I might need to raise it up a little bit, fold my blanket in a different way or something, right? So as you're in it, just stay in it. But if something is calling out to you, um, then adjust. My friend Paul here taught a restorative class on Sunday, and he said something that I thought was really cool. Whenever you have blankets and things all around and you're touching them when you're not really supposed to be, right? There's like something by your foot. I got this block by my knee, and it kind of throws me off, right? Like my energy and my thoughts go to that thing. So if you can, if there's anything that's uh, taking your attention away from just letting go, then move that thing away and just be in this place. And here you are allowing yourself to heal, to flush energy out through you, expand in places that were once tight and clenched. So breathe into those places. You'll have another inhale, exhale here. Make that exhale deep. Just let it go. Feel like heavy and giving your energy to the earth. Just push it all down. And then find a graceful way to come back up to sitting. But we're going to just head right down onto our backs. So however you want to get there, we'll move the props away for a moment. And if you're like, "Ooh, I'm getting there right away," go for it. But finding that gentleness is also encouraged right now. So just to begin with, once you get there, we're going to just bring our feet mat width apart and bring your knees together. Backs on the ground, head on the ground, shoulders. Everything's just letting go. Awesome. Let's ground out the back a little bit by gently bringing our knees into our belly, onto, I guess, and grabbing your hands with your knees and allowing yourself to just gently rock side to side. And I'm talking slower than you're used to doing it, really pressing the lower back into the ground. Imagine a snail or a turtle moving. And again, it's about just kind of grounding the lower back, opening up the hips a little bit here. And then doing gentle circles with your knees. So if it works to keep holding on to your knees, you can do that. And once again, I'm talking really slow circles, allowing yourself to stretch a little bit, wind back around, pulling your knees back onto your belly. And we're just still going in one direction right now. And then next time you come forward, take a moment to stretch out, kind of holding on to the knees, the hands pulling the knees and the knees pressing the hands, and then we'll shift the direction of our circle. Really find how slowly you can take it, allowing the breath to take you there, meaning that you're slowing down the breath. The head, the shoulders should feel relaxed as they rest on the ground. And just breathing into the lower back. Awesome. Next time you get there, bring your knees into the belly and just squeeze them here for a little bit. And then we're going to exhale and let go by stretching the arms up and the legs down. So we're in a really long, like we're standing in mountain pose with the arms extended up and then staying here. And again, I hope you don't have to look at me to for me to describe this, but if you need to, you can. Okay, so we're gonna do a little. This is a reclined palm tree, I think. So it's like making a C to the left. So I'm taking my hands and my shoulders over to the left, and then my legs over to the left. So just a little curve to the left. I'm gonna grab my right arm with my left hand, right? Because I'm bending over to the left. I'm taking my left hand, grabbing my right wrist. So that's really stretching those QLs, right? The quadrilumbar, which is between the ribs and the hips. And then I'm going to put my left ankle on top of my right ankle. That kind of stabilizes you a little bit. We're going to hang out here. So once again, if this feels like, oh, I'm really stretching, kind of release it a little bit, right? You could find your limit and then come back like 10%. But the goal is a nice, super long stretch in the whole right side. But the shoulders, even though they're doing some work here, they should be released down, the head down. Just kind of worked out the lower back a little bit or opened it up a little bit. So this is just kind of stretching the sides. Staying there. Let me check y'all out here. All right. Cool. Just finding your breath here. One more long, luxurious inhale, exhale. And again, it's all about the transition sometimes, right? It's about the journey, right? Not always the destination. So the journey is coming back to center as slowly as you can, releasing the legs, releasing the arms. Maybe bring the arms alongside you in Shavasana for a moment. We'll use that as a transition moment. Scan your body. Maybe feel that right side, all opened up. And then we'll glide to the other side. So once again, the arms come up and stretch nice and long. Your body's like, oh yeah, you want to be long? And you're like, yeah, how about a little bit longer? And then we're going to make a little C over to the right side. The arms come over, grabbing with the left wrist with the right hand, and then the legs come over, and stacking the ankles so that we stabilize there a little bit. Once again, scan the body. Are you chilling? Are you feeling comfortable? Are you at a limit that you're like, oh, I can't go any further? Because maybe you want to back up a little bit. Finding a little bit of freedom here, expansion, space. And just breathing into that element of expansion. Breathing into the left side, kind of imagining that you're like getting a little massage between your shoulder, down through your ribs on your left side, between the ribs and the hips, even down through the side of your quads, your knee. Breathing in the idea of releasing any stuck places. Deep in the inhale, let go fully on the exhale. And then you'll gently glide back to center and Shavasana, arms at your sides, giving your full weight to the earth. And your option is to just stay here for the next 3 to 5 minutes as we end the session. If you're looking for other options, You could roll a blanket under your knees. Um, you could, was going to do fish pose, but I feel like everyone's just chilling. Fish pose is like elevating your, no, we're going to do that another time. I'm not even going to talk about it. I just want you to be here in Shavasana. Again, rolling something under your knees or one of your blankets or pillows under your knees if you want that. You know, this is a good time for blankets on top of you. And I'll talk you through this for a couple minutes. And then for those of you that got on late, I'm just going to let you stay in Shavasana, like kind of once I like close it up a little bit. Um, you know, I want there to be an end to the session so you don't feel like you're kind of hanging, but you are allowed to stay in this Shavasana for however long you want. But I do want to let you know that once you feel like, you know, once I close up the class and you're ready to go, um, when you move out of Shavasana, just do it with intention. You know, maybe that's a deep stretch or wiggling the fingers back awake. Maybe it's rolling the knees onto the belly. You know, I think you all have done yoga before, maybe even my classes. So you know how to roll out of it. Um, you know, it's about that grace that you're giving yourself, right? That compassion. And even if there's something that, you know, needs your attention right afterwards, just find that graceful way to glide out, maybe even coming to sitting and just, you know, kind of closing out with your intention. But as you're here, we are here right now. That's the future. And we are here, and you are allowing yourself to let go. You're allowing yourself to feel heavy and feel held by the earth. The earth supports us, it supports our every step, it supports our weight. Allowing yourself to breathe a little into your heart and just loving yourself right where you are. You are you, and it's so cool to be you because you just get to be you. Knowing that this restorative session, again, really allows you to let go of deep tension. It allows your energy to move through the body even better. So there's a lot that, you know, even with like the kind of staticness of holding the pose, there's actually a lot of movement that has been allowed to happen because of holding that. So after the session is done and you move on, I do suggest you drink a lot of water, kind of flush it all out. And again, please stay in this pose and whatever pose you're in for as long as you wish. But I'm going to close the session here. And I just want to thank you all for doing this for yourself, for giving yourself this grace and this hour to just be and let go. And thank you all for allowing me to guide you through this session today. Namaste.